What if Hollywood's youngest stars are teaching America new lessons about courage and authenticity? Behind the fame, many faced bullying, anxiety, and intense public pressure, yet refused to hide who they are. Their stories are changing not just Hollywood, but the culture itself. Today, we'll explore the inspiring journeys of Joe Locke, Joshua Bassett, Brandon Flynn, and more. Kit Connor rose to worldwide fame through his heartfelt performance as Nick Nelson in the Netflix series Heartstopper. His portrayal of a kind and emotionally conflicted teenage rugby player discovering his sexuality resonated deeply with audiences around the world, particularly young viewers searching for honest and relatable representation. Although born in 2004, Kit had already built an impressive acting resume before Heartstopper transformed him into one of the most recognizable young stars of his generation. But with sudden fame came intense public attention that few teenagers are prepared to face. As the popularity of the show exploded online, discussions about Kit's private life became increasingly invasive. Some social media users accused him of queer-baiting and pressured him to publicly define his sexuality, despite his repeated attempts to keep that part of his identity personal. In 2022, Kit revealed on social media that he was bisexual. However, the announcement did not feel celebratory. Instead, many observers viewed it as the result of relentless online pressure and constant public speculation. The moment sparked broader conversations about celebrity privacy, especially for young performers still trying to understand themselves while growing up in front of millions of strangers. Rather than retreating completely from public life, Kit responded with maturity, honesty, and quiet resilience. He encouraged greater empathy and respect for personal boundaries, reminding people that nobody should feel forced to reveal deeply personal information before they are emotionally ready. Joe Locke rose to worldwide fame through his heartfelt portrayal of Charlie Spring in the Netflix series Heartstopper. His performance as a sensitive and openly gay teenager navigating friendship, bullying, first love, and self-acceptance resonated deeply with viewers of all ages. Audiences praised Joe for bringing warmth, vulnerability, and quiet strength to the role, helping make Heartstopper one of the most celebrated coming-of-age series in recent years. Born and raised on the Isle of Man, Joe quickly proved he wanted to use his growing fame for more than entertainment alone. Alongside his acting career, he became a passionate advocate for LGBTQ+ equality and youth well-being. He has spoken openly about important issues affecting queer communities, including the dangers of conversion therapy and the need for safe, inclusive school environments where young people can feel accepted and protected. Joe has also participated in international discussions connected to the United Nations, encouraging educators and leaders to support mental health awareness and inclusion for LGBTQ+ youth. What many people admire most is the sincerity behind his activism. Rather than appearing driven by publicity, Joe's advocacy reflects genuine compassion and deeply personal values. Even as his career continues expanding, including projects connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Joe remains committed to promoting understanding and representation. His journey shows that young performers can influence culture not only through talent, but also through empathy, honesty, and the courage to speak up for others. Joshua Bassett approached his public coming out with a sincerity and simplicity that many people found genuinely refreshing. In 2021, during an interview discussing his admiration for Harry Styles, Joshua casually joked, "I guess this is also my coming out video." There was no dramatic announcement or carefully planned publicity campaign, just a spontaneous moment of honesty that resonated strongly with younger audiences searching for authenticity in public figures. His openness reflected a growing cultural shift toward emotional honesty and self-acceptance, where identity is viewed with more understanding and less pressure to fit strict labels. That same authenticity is deeply present in Joshua's music. His EP Sad Songs in a Hotel Room revealed a vulnerable and personal side of the young performer. featuring emotional songs about heartbreak, loneliness, healing, and resilience. Rather than hiding behind a polished celebrity image, Joshua embraced emotional transparency in both his songwriting and public life. By speaking openly about anxiety, stress, heartbreak, and the pressures of sudden fame, Joshua has helped many young listeners feel less alone during difficult times. Fellow artists, including Olivia Rodrigo, have praised his emotional depth and sincerity, qualities often considered rare in modern entertainment. One phrase especially resonated with fans: "Life is too short not to be yourself." For many older viewers observing today's younger entertainers, Joshua Bassett represents a hopeful cultural shift, one where compassion, vulnerability, and honesty matter more than maintaining a flawless public image. His journey continues to show that sensitivity and openness can be genuine sources of strength. Justice Smith has established himself in Hollywood as more than just a talented performer. He has also become an influential voice in conversations about identity, inclusion, and representation. In June 2020, during a period of national reflection following protests against racial injustice across the United States, Justice publicly came out as queer in a heartfelt Instagram post. His message was personal and emotional, but it also carried a larger purpose, highlighting the challenges faced by Black queer communities and encouraging greater solidarity and compassion. In his statement, Justice emphasized the need to support our Black queer sisters, brothers, and siblings, reminding audiences that discussions about equality must include people living at the intersection of race and sexuality. His words resonated deeply because they reflected both honesty and courage during a time when many public figures were being called upon to address social issues more openly. Justice first gained major recognition through his performance in The Get Down, created by Baz Luhrmann. Critics praised his ability to combine sensitivity, intelligence, and emotional depth in a subtle but powerful way. He later strengthened his reputation with films such as All the Bright Places, where he showcased impressive maturity and emotional range as an actor. Beyond acting, Justice continues advocating for more authentic representation in film and television. He believes storytelling can challenge prejudice, encourage empathy, and help audiences better understand one another. Through both his performances and activism, Justice Smith is helping create a more inclusive and compassionate Hollywood. Brandon Flynn first gained major recognition through his emotionally powerful role as Justin Foley in the Netflix drama 13 Reasons Why. His performance brought depth, vulnerability, and realism to a character struggling with trauma, addiction, and emotional pain. Viewers praised Brandon for portraying Justin with compassion and humanity, helping turn the character into one of the series' most memorable figures. While the show launched him into mainstream fame, Brandon's impact has continued to grow beyond acting alone. Raised in both Florida and Texas, Brandon has quietly become a supporter of LGBTQ+ rights and mental health awareness. Rather than chasing headlines or controversy, he has built a reputation based on sincerity, humility, and authenticity. Openly gay, Brandon has encouraged younger audiences to embrace honesty and self-acceptance, while also earning respect from older viewers who admire personal integrity and quiet confidence. Part of Brandon's appeal comes from his grounded and understated lifestyle. In an industry often associated with glamour and carefully controlled public images, he presents himself with refreshing simplicity. Frequently seen in jeans, plain t-shirts, and casual clothing, Brandon projects a calm and approachable personality that feels increasingly rare in Hollywood. Beyond his striking appearance and natural charm, Brandon Flynn continues building a legacy centered on compassion, honesty, and purpose. His career shows that meaningful influence comes not only from fame, but from staying true to one's values while inspiring others through quiet strength. Chris Colfer grew up in Clovis, where he often felt isolated because he seemed different from many of his classmates. Throughout his childhood and teenage years, he faced persistent bullying, experiences that deeply influenced both his personality and creative ambitions. Instead of allowing those hardships to silence him, Chris turned to writing, storytelling, and performing as ways to express himself and rebuild confidence. That determination eventually inspired The Land of Stories, the best-selling fantasy series beloved by readers of all ages for its imagination, humor, and emotional warmth. Chris later achieved worldwide fame through his unforgettable role as Kurt Hummel on the television hit Glee. Kurt became one of the most influential LGBTQ+ characters ever seen on mainstream television, offering visibility and hope to countless young viewers across America. Chris's emotionally honest performance earned widespread acclaim and helped him win a Golden Globe Awards, marking an important cultural milestone for LGBTQ+ representation in entertainment. Despite his success, Chris has never appeared driven solely by fame. Over the years, he has consistently used his platform to support marginalized voices and encourage greater inclusion, both on-screen and behind the scenes. His story especially resonates with older audiences who value perseverance, humility, and authenticity. Today, Chris Colfer is admired not only as an actor and author, but as a symbol of resilience whose journey proves true success is measured by the lives touched through kindness, creativity, and courage. Garrett Clayton made a deeply personal and courageous decision in 2018 when he publicly came out as gay through a heartfelt Instagram post. His announcement coincided with the release of Reach, a movie focused on LGBTQ+ identity, bullying, and teen mental health struggles. Rather than using the moment for publicity, Garrett chose to speak honestly about vulnerability, emotional pain, and the importance of compassion and support. His openness resonated strongly with many young people facing similar feelings of loneliness and uncertainty. In his message, Garrett also revealed his personal experiences with depression and reflected on the devastating impact suicide had within his family. By discussing such painful subjects publicly, he helped break the silence surrounding mental health struggles that many individuals, especially LGBTQ+ youth, often feel pressured to hide. His willingness to share these experiences with sincerity and empathy turned him into a source of encouragement for fans dealing with their own emotional battles. Beyond acting, Garrett has become a dedicated supporter of the Trevor Project, which focuses on crisis intervention and suicide prevention for LGBTQ+ young people. Through interviews, advocacy work, and public appearances, he has consistently promoted conversations about self-acceptance, emotional well-being, and the importance of seeking help during difficult times. Miles Heiser has earned admiration not through controversy or constant publicity, but through a quiet authenticity that many fans find refreshing. Unlike celebrities who carefully manage every detail of their public image, Miles approaches fame with calm honesty and understated confidence. Rather than making dramatic public statements, he occasionally shares glimpses of his personal life and relationships through social media, allowing audiences to see a more natural and sincere side of him without chasing attention. Miles first gained major recognition through his emotionally sensitive performance as Alex Standall in the Netflix drama 13 Reasons Why. His portrayal of a teenager struggling with loneliness, guilt, and emotional trauma resonated deeply with viewers and established him as one of the show's most respected young actors. He later continued supporting inclusive storytelling through his role in Love, Simon, a groundbreaking movie praised as an important milestone for LGBTQ+ representation in mainstream Hollywood cinema. What makes Miles especially admired is the steady consistency of his presence. He avoids sensational interviews and manufactured celebrity moments. Instead, his influence comes from professionalism, sincerity, and authenticity in an industry often driven by image and attention. For many older audiences, Miles Heiser represents a thoughtful generation of performers who understand that meaningful influence does not need to be loud. His calm demeanor and quiet dignity show that honesty, compassion, and authenticity can leave a lasting impact. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos. See you in the next one.